He just showed me a vision of no brain activity or losing parts of his brain.
That was the last conversation we had with the doctors. We had to make that decision.
You didn't make that decision, your son did.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think so.
Hi, where are you guys from?
We're from Southern California.
Oh, perfect. Well, first of all, I'm glad that you're here. And first of all, there's a couple different souls that I'm hearing from, but right away, there's a soul that's calling me over that's telling me life support. Who was on life support?
Our son.
He's here. Because right away when I was connecting, he was saying to me, Matt, he said to me, you need to tell them how I died and you need to help them. Because literally there's so many questions that you have. He tells me you were just holding clothes of his or you just had shirts of his.
Yeah.
So first of all, know that when you were going through his clothes, that's your son's way of letting you know that he was right there and with you. I know that this was a recent passing because he's telling me he just recently passed away.
February.
Recently to me is always within the past year because you're very lucky that he's actually coming through right now. And the only reason why he's coming through is that you have a grandmother that's here that's helping him through because he wants you to know that he is with your grandmother on the other side. What happens is when souls first pass on, it's tough for us to get a hold of them because literally what happens is that they have to learn how to communicate with us the same way that we communicate with them. So the first thing I got to let you know, he's telling me on the other side that he wants to thank the two of you for all the things that you have done to remember him and all the things that you're planning on doing. He says, but Matt, you need to let them know, he says that they were the best parents to me that they possibly could have been. He says to me that the two of you were planning on going away with one another. He talks about a trip he's hearing about. So you two are taking a vacation just by yourselves?
With our daughter too.
Your daughter.
He's telling me that he's gonna be with you on the trip. He says, please tell them that they need to take that trip, that even though it doesn't feel right, and even though you've been going back and forth and saying, is this the right decision? Is it not? He says, I want my parents to go. And more importantly, he tells me you're so upset because you feel like the hospital failed him.
Wow.
And that's why you're here today. I'm going to be honest with you. This was very tough. And I'm trying to piece it together, being a medium. And he's explaining to me every single thing that happened to him and the way that he died. And I'm going to try my hardest to piece it back together for you. And listen, what I'm about to say, it's going to be very hard to hear because it's hard for me as a medium. But I got to tell you that everything that I tell you, I know is going to help you later on because I know that you come to me for answers. And I'm not here to filter the messages. I'm here to tell you exactly what your son is telling me. He keeps telling me that the doctors or nurses did not believe what was going on with him. They didn't take seriously what was going on with him at first. That's what he's telling me.
Okay.
And then he tells me there was an issue with him breathing. He talks about having an issue with he stopped breathing or had difficulty breathing. And next thing you know, that's when everything changed. But there was something that was here that I don't understand. Did he have like an asthma attack at the same time? Because I keep feeling like there's all of this fluid in my lungs when I'm connecting with your son.
He did have some fluid in his lungs, but they said it was cardiac arrest.
Okay. Whatever this was, I feel this fluid in here. And your son said to me, that's the reason why he was unable to make it through this whole situation. He says to me that unfortunately, he made the choice to go to the other side. I'm going to tell you that. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Whatever had happened, he just showed me a vision of no brain activity or losing parts of his brain.
Yeah, that was the decision that they told us. That was the last conversation we had with the doctors. We had to make that decision.
You didn't make that decision, your son did.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think so.
He said to me, Matt, he goes, there was no way I was going to survive this. And this is what happens. When we transition on to the other side, something amazing happens, all right? All of a sudden, we're greeted by our family members that have passed, our spirit guide, our guardian angel, and they explain to us what's going on. And they also give us the option. They say to us, listen, you can stay on Earth and you can try to fight, or you can leave and go. And although we might say, well, listen, I want to go and I want to stay and fight, right? They also tell us what's going to happen. And your son tells me that because of the damage that was done to his brain, he says to me, I wouldn't have been able to remember my parents. I wouldn't have been able to remember who they were. I wouldn't have been able to walk again, talk again, speak again. So he said to me that he made the decision to go to the other side. And because he made that decision, he's able to watch over you every day. And that's the reason why he's here.
Wow.
I talk to him every day.
Yeah, we talk to him every day.
I know you do, but he's saying to me, you need to give yourself a break because he shows me that every day the two of you have been having such a hard time because you go back and say, what could I have done differently?
When he got hurt, I ran towards him. I ran towards my son, and I could have gone to the front desk and asked for help. I had to run to my son when someone told me my son was, when my wife called me, I have so many questions about if I should have run to the front desk and got help and instead of running towards him, but I had to run to my son and see what was going on.
I'm going to tell you right now.
It was a long distance to run towards him, but I don't know. That's what I heard. Matt, I questioned myself. I should have gone to the front desk and let him know what was going on instead of going towards him, but I had to go towards myself.
I don't know if you follow my work or what I do, but I have one policy. I will never lie to somebody. I will never tell them what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth. And some people love me for it. Some people hate me for it. Some people don't know whether to bless me or burn me. But I will tell you this. Your son, like I said, they can see the past, they can see the future, and he tells me it wouldn't have made a difference. I promise you that. What happened, happened. Whether you were there right before, whether you were there 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. And that's what your son wants you to know. So he says to me that, listen, he doesn't want you to spend, your life thinking about what if I did this, what if I did that, what if I made this different decision? Help was there. You got him help. It doesn't matter the time. You handed him off to other people. And then at that moment, he says to me, there was just too much that went on in his body. And that's what ended up happening.
Did he know we were there with him?
Absolutely. But I want you to hear this, because this is what's important that your son's telling me, is that at the end of the day, you need to know that it was his decision to leave and not yours.
He was woken up from sleep with alarm bells. And then we got a call from the hospital that he had another cardiac arrest in the hospital. And after that, he didn't have any more brain activity. So we thought maybe that was the time that he left.
Absolutely. I know without a doubt.
Because he was on life support for another 5 days after that.
Your son says to me, listen, even though our body might be going, doesn't mean that we're still in it.
Yeah.
And that's what your son's letting you know, that he already made that decision. And that's what he wants you to think back to. And he wants you to go into it, to enjoy that vacation. He wants you to go on it. He wants you to enjoy every single moment. And he wants to let you know that he is there and that he's with you and that he is safe and at peace. And I'm going to leave you with that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.